Wade and Wade reacts.
We got a request to react to another Project MorningStar video. This is MorningStar motion comic. Let's check it out.
A dark wind blows across the face of a murdered world. The sky is a funerary shroud, covering a land twisted with craters and pockmarked with oceans of melted soil. Catraith, throne world of the Regenium as it was. The broken fingers of dead cities are all that remain of an arrogant culture that sought to resist 1,000 empires. A single, windowless citadel stands above it all, a final insult to this place. Its custodians, locked in the belly of this horrible machine, now stir to awaken a monster. Beneath the fortress lies a vast manufactory complex of grinding engines that produce the tools of war. No king or noble lord dwells here. They are all long dead, with their gods and ideals. Yet their dungeons still keep strange beasts. A heavy transport rumbles forward off a macro lift, bringing its precious cargo up to the surface levels. Unlike some other worlds of the hegemon, the denizens of this fortress deliberately shun innovation for reliability.
Oh, dang.
The transport.
So they're not making anything new.
Ergoid robotics, even the ancient cryocell are all centuries old, but are proven in their task. The vehicle grinds to a halt, and a dozen men and women rush forward with the precision of ring racer mechanics, opening fuel lines to power the activation. They are indentured-class citizens from across known space, willing contractors toiling to pay back their time debts. Serving the macro corporations that finance this place grants a tenfold improvement in credit score compared to any other position. It is not a job without risk. In the most extreme cases for the truly desperate, there is encasement. Bodily fluids mimetic imprints are siphoned for feed in the purest form of transaction. Life for life. The sleeping giant exists in a state of peace beyond a universe it could never find its place in. But even for those who believe themselves beyond the pursuit of profit, there must still be an exchange. And so it is woken from its null paradise. A foul stench seeps onto the manufactory floor as resuscitation systems roar to life. The creature stirs, its mind returning from the void in a hurricane of insanity. It was once human, molded by a regimen of trauma as much as stolen science, and combined in the laboratories of mad visionaries. It is not a hero of myth, but a nightmare of singular purpose: violence.
Oh, he's meant for war.
Cryogenic crystals instantly evaporate into toxic fumes. An emaciated frame, corded with reinforced muscle and powered by Grade 1 organoids, rises. Provolved, augmented, shade.
Space Marine, basically.
It is Barakan, made into the hegemon's most potent weapon. Their reward is certainty of purpose rather than currency. Barakan do not question their place in a universe that breeds doubt. One of the indentured, transfixed by this hyper-predator, strays within arm's reach. Fingers push through flesh to snap the bones
So
within.
they're not too intelligent.
It turns to the other indentured, restrained only by hibernation blindness. It can smell their judging fear, hear the roar of mocking heartbeats. Every panicked breath is an insult. It will kill everything and everyone. A fog of Carfin tranquilizers and benzoic relaxatrant stops the onslaught before it can start. The thing is subdued, temporarily. The indentured look to one another, unsure of who should approach the Barakan, when their oscillators warn them to stay on schedule with the buzz of a low-level electrode.
You might as well be a criminal in this universe. I'm not paying back no debt.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Barakan, linked to their nervous system via empathic spikes and filled with lubricant. Autoplate made from new steel is then added over empowered joints, making the Barakan more a weapon system rather than mere flesh and blood hidden within a suit of armor. The Barakan's only sign of awareness is when the MMV Basuta gauntlets are fitted. Empathic nerve bundles cause its quark alloy blade to briefly slide out, like the claws of a predator dreaming of its last kill. Reactive paneling is installed on the chest, able to deter direct incoming ordnance or shred anyone foolish enough to draw too close. Regulating narcos are pumped into reservoirs across the armor or siphoned into specialized glands beneath the skin. Ports in the carapace will allow for direct refills or enable the individual soldier to create a wild melange of performance-enhancing chemicals.
So they got steroids in the suit too.
Finally, the Cogit hood built into the Barakan's helmet descends. Delicate neural conductive stilettos made from psychoactive materials enter directly into 6 input slots that pierce through white, gray, and finally black matter. Uploaded data suffuses the Kotar's brain. Scrolling information refracts through the eyes, glowing faintly in the dim light of the chamber. The indentured look upon their work with something like contempt and earnest pride. The Barakan's psyche is filled with statistical breakdowns of its new contract, forming a preternatural understanding of its purpose. It will be given flyover data of the location and the personality and psychological breakdowns of everyone the Hegemon is aware of in a combat zone, both friendly and oppositional. The executive functions of the Barakan's brain are now completely dedicated to its goals without having to think about how to achieve them. A true killer acts and executes. The twin-barreled Mauler M600 has become synonymous with the Barakan as much as their auto harness. Originally, the Maulers were a vehicle-mounted pintle weapon. The Barakan lifts it with a single empowered hand. Empathic integration forms between palm and grip, connecting simple logic cores to the wielder, making micro-corrections that ensure a 200% increase in accuracy. Mixed ammunition allows for devastating versatility, but the gun can also be switched to output a truly obscene fire rate. Time-hardened, self-sharpening depletalloy rounds capable of adiabatic shearing will, on impact, create an explosive environment that will ignite the oxygen molecules of a target. A war zone inflicted with Barakan weaponry will still be poisoned 2.5 million years later, as
What?
fragments from these bullets will infect an area with radiation. The Barakan Elite Division stands by for deployment. The indentured turn, shrug beneath their rubberized suits, and prepare for the next, hoping they'll survive their shift.
They need an indenture uprising.
They sure do.
Shout out to the subscriber that asked us to check this out. This is a really interesting world. It's cool to get a deeper insight into the lore. And there are a lot of things that this video made me question, like, you know, who are the good guys, who are the evil guys, and will there be an indenture uprising?
All of that made me wonder the same thing. The world kind of reminds me of the world of Warhammer. It seems like this world is grim dark as well. It's not a nice world to live in. These are not regular employees at a company. These aren't regular scientists or engineers. They're forced to do this in order to pay back a debt. And then the process of creating the Barakan is brutal. You have to, I think, capture people and drain their life force and give it to the Barakan. And then the Barakan are not even people. These are beings that are created simply for war. It seems like they don't have lives. They put the helmets on them, and the helmets have those stilettos that transfer the information to the Barakan. This also makes me ask if there are Barakan who are autonomous. Can they function on their own?
Yeah, and I'm kind of disappointed that this is grimdark, because I thought it was going to be more of a dystopian future cyberpunk type of vibe. But now that it's grimdark, it kind of changes that a little bit. Or maybe it's maybe they do have cyberpunk elements, because especially the second part that we watched of this with all the little billboards and stuff, that gave me like a cyberpunk vibe.
Yeah, it does look like it could be a combination of the two. That does it for our reaction to this subscriber request. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Also, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll never miss a video from Wade and Wade Reacts.
I'm out of here.
Peace.